How's it going, everyone? This is Renee with Neptune Cigars. We're back in Las Vegas for the PCA in 2024. I'm here with Mr. Tim Ozgener of Ozgener Cigars. Thank you so much for being with us,
Thanks,
Tim.
Renee. Nice meeting you.
Yes, good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Day number one. It's, the show's just getting started. How do you feel?
Good, fine. I'm ready to go. I'm excited to be here. I love cigars, and I love this trade show. I grew up coming to this trade show with my dad when we had CAO, so my dad would say, "You wanna go? Let's go."
Let's go.
I'm ready to go, man.
Beautiful. Cool. All right, well, without any further ado, I think a lot of people out there want to know, since your brand is relatively still on the new side.
Yes.
It's not even been 2 years,
It's only
right?
22 months old. I was doing the math the other day, trying to figure out, because the trade show being in March, it kind of throws things off. But it's still a young brand, 22 months old. But listen, we know, because we started CAO from the basement of our home and built it from there, that it takes time, but you have to have really high quality tobaccos and the ingredients and the flavor, what you're coming out with is super important. So I'm trying to apply that experience to this new brand.
Okay. And then, so that being said, what's next for you guys? I know people might know the Bosphorus already.
Yes.
What's next now coming up this year?
So we have this is Oz Family Cigars. We're calling it Oz Family Cigars because a lot of people can't pronounce our last name, Ozgener. Everybody knows Oz. So this is like Oz Family Cigars Bosphorus. We have 4 different sizes of them, a Rothschild, a Robusto, Toro, Churchill. All of them, I'm proud to say, have gotten 90 or above, 293s. One of them was in top 25 cigars of the year in Cigar Aficionado. So out of the gate, we've come out really strong because we believe it has to be really compelling, interesting, rich smoke featuring a double binder on this. This one, our next one, is called Adamas. Adamas has a Mexican San Andreas Maduro wrapper, and then the binders and fillers on them. The binder on it is Sumatra seed Ecuador, and the fillers are a combination of Nicaragua and also Dominican Republic, more of spicy Dominican Republic in there. Half a leaf of Connecticut broadleaf, so it's almost like dark chocolate covered with Creole spices.
All right.
Very nice cigar. And all of them have gotten 90 ratings or above as well.
Yeah.
Our new release kind of complements these. The story of the brand is that my father is Armenian, my mom Turkish. They met in New York City, that's the Statue of Liberty, and then they eloped and moved to Tennessee. So the foothills of Tennessee are in there. The third blend we're doing is called Fursat, which means opportunity in Turkish. It's over there, so.
Let's go take a look. All right, so here we have the new one.
Yes, the new one's called Oz Family Cigars Fursat, F-I-R-S-A-T. Fursat means opportunity in Turkish. And it kind of refers to the Statue of Liberty as part of the story. When my parents came over to the U.S., they both worked very, very hard to go to universities. My dad went to Columbia, my mother was going to Bank Street College of Education, and they fell in love there, even though they were different cultural backgrounds. So really what we wanted to do was we wanted to create a cigar on all 3 lines that's accessible and easy for people to smoke. I was doing a lot of cigar events, and still a lot of people are coming in saying, I want something that's mild to medium, but that has a lot of flavor. So this is kind of made to do that. The wrapper on it is Connecticut seed Ecuador. It's from a higher priming.
Yeah.
So it's darker. It's a bit more of a gold, more like a gold bronze kind of tone to it.
I noted that immediately. I'm like, this is not your standard shade of shade.
And we soft press it. So instead of it being more like a standard box press, it is a subtle soft press on it. And the Adamas is round. The fillers on it are all Nicaraguan, so it's like smoking a mild Nicaraguan cigar.
I had the opportunity to smoke it yesterday.
Oh, good.
After having 4 cigars during the day, I'm like, oh, another one? All right, let me smoke it.
Yeah.
And it hit the spot.
Oh, good.
So it's exactly what you accomplished to do. So
yeah, and you guys are great. You do a great job, and looking forward to coming over there and doing these behind the blend tastings.
Tasting events, that's
something I'm passionate about doing too, which is to show people if they were going to blend their own cigars, what do they need to know?
Yeah.
So it's almost like they're going to be tasting spices from their spice cabinet before they're cooking it.
Yes.
And then they're going to taste it after it's cooked. Because when you marry the ingredients, they have to rest, and in the rest they kind of marry even more, and it produces a final flavor that is a more kind of rich, cohesive flavor.
Yeah.
Kind of like slow cooking.
Right, and it helps you appreciate the blend more.
Yeah, for sure.
Very cool. Are you going to be doing a tour of those tasting events, or just select cities?
Yeah. So what we're going to do with that is that really, we just been waiting for it's not all my fault. I have to give our salesmen available dates that I have to go and do them. But they've been trying to get me to go and do the Neptune one. I know that was like something that been working on, so I'm glad that it's on the calendar.
Me too.
But yes, I'll be going and doing more of these like around the country. I love doing it. It's fun. I think the consumers hopefully enjoy doing it too, because that's kind of the knowledge that they would need to know in order to make a cigar.
If he comes to your town, you better go to this tasting event. Tim's been around the block. He knows a thing or two.
Oh yeah, well look, the bottom line is, my father always said, this should be a pleasure, right? I mean, like what you should be doing, you're smiling, you know, you're enjoying it. You're making something that brings joy to people's lives. So what I try to do when I come and do this is, I try to convey that spirit, you know, that what are cigars for? And it's really for like enjoyment, bringing happiness to people, and people can kind of share it with one another, get to know one another a little bit better. You're not running around looking at your phone all day, you know?
Yeah. Big problem nowadays.
I know, and thank you guys for providing like a venue and for doing what you're doing to kind of help keep that sort of spirit active and alive.
It's our pleasure.
Yeah,
Cool.
Thank you.
All right, Tim, so to close up, I do have one final question
Sure.
for you. So this is the last year in Vegas, at least for now. Next year, we're going to be in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Right, so with that change in mind, if you had the ability to change anything about the cigar industry, what would that be?
Oh wow, that's a good question. That's a total curveball.
Anything at all, yeah.
Anything at all?
Anything.
I would
Open
say
it.
like no tobacco taxes.
Well,
How about that? For cigars. I don't care about the other stuff.
Yeah.
But for cigars, right?
Yeah.
I think it's underrated, really, the amount of relief of stress and happiness and joy that cigars bring to people.
Yeah.
And I think our industry has done a good job with like lobbying that message. But I mean, come on, you know what I mean? Like, this is not something that is typically an addictive habit for people.
Right.
People are doing this, they're bringing it to the back of your palate for the flavor. And my father would always say, you are like meditating. You're breathing in. You relax. And you don't even realize you're relaxing when you're doing it.
Right.
So I feel like that this is my argument why you shouldn't tax premium cigars, because it's almost like premium bourbon or premium scotch.
That's a great answer.
And you're not getting intoxicated.
That's
You
a
might
bonus.
just have a little bit of a bad breath
That's
issue.
a bonus. Yeah, you can still drive after smoking a cigar.
That's why they made gum, right?
Tim, pleasure as always.
Thanks,
Thank you so much for
man.
taking the time.
Absolutely. Thanks,
All right,
man.
you guys, you heard it here first. This is Renee with Neptune Cigars. Be sure to check out the new Ozgener. It's coming out. And when is it coming out?
Hopefully end of April.
End of April.
Yeah.
You got it there. Look for it on NeptuneCigar.com.
Thank you.
Until next time, you guys.